I need to talk to you as a Korean 아줌마. 잘 들어. Sorry, I was kidding. But I have something to tell you about Korean Ajumma. This is from Wikipedia. Ajumma is a respectful Korean word for a married or marriage-aged woman. It comes from the Korean word ajumani. Although it is sometimes translated aunt, it does not actually refer to a family relationship. It is most often used to refer to any middle-aged or older woman, since referring to an elder by name without a title in Korea is not socially acceptable. So, I must be a so-called ajumma, according to this definition. It's true, because my kids' friends call me ajumma or imo. But it's only half true that I'm an ajumma, because ajumma has a different meaning as well. If you're living in Korea or learning Korean, you might know what ajummas are like. You're probably not a big fan of ajummas. 나도 그래. People say there are three kinds of people in Korea. There are men, there are women, and there are ajummas. The ajumma figures in Korean movies are portrayed as having seagull wing-shaped eyebrows, a tight perm, and a pink blouse with a flower pattern. However, looking at women around my age, they don't seem to fit this image. And I look like this. Okay, I'm not that developed on the feminine side, I know. Once my daughter drew a picture of her family at school. When her friends saw the picture, they said, 야, 너 왜 아빠가 두 명이야? So I told my daughter, 입술하고 치치를 좀 그려봐봐. You should have checked out my daughter's face when I said that. Anyway, the thing is that I'm not really an ajumma. No woman in her 40s should be called an ajumma. Yay! Back to Wikipedia, ajumma is a word for a married woman. It's true. When we get married, we say, Now I become an ajumma. 아줌마 됐어. To a friend who's just gotten married, we say, You are not an 아가씨 anymore. You are an ajumma. Poor thing. 아줌마 됐네. However, ajumma is not a respectful Korean word for a married woman these days. It used to be back in the 1920s. Every woman in Korea hates to be called ajumma, including the real ajummas. Being called imo by kids is fine, but not ajumma. Actually, imo is kind of cute, and imo is not a word for a married woman. Imo is just for an older woman other than a nuna figure. So there are two different meanings for ajumma. One, a way to refer to a literally married woman in comparison to 아가씨. Two, a way to refer to a middle-aged woman in a disrespectful way with negative meanings. Since the 1980s, the word ajumma has started having negative meanings, such as the following. Just a housewife, not much education, living only for their husband and children, not cultured, not slick and chic. So you'd better never, ever call some woman ajumma. How do I feel about ajummas? Sometimes I call myself ajumma to humble myself. But if anybody would call me ajumma, I'd definitely hate it. But I've been brought up by a woman called ajumma, my mom. When I was a kid, the negative meanings that ajumma now has, not so strong. We kids called each other's mom ajumma, and that was common. Nobody got hurt. As a so-called ajumma, my mom was a hardworking housewife who always rooted for me. She cared for her family before she cared for herself and did all things for the family. Nowadays, the women like her are being called 어머니 instead of ajumma. Of course, it does not actually refer to you, mother. The image of the word 어머니 as a way to call married women with kids is good and warm. So tutors who teach my daughter call me 어머니, even though I'm much younger than them. So, in conclusion, don't call any woman of any age 아줌마. Instead, you can call her 어머니 or 아주머니. Of course, you can ask what her name is first, and then call her Mrs. Such and Such. There's one more thing. Actually, the generation of women known as ajummas in the 1980s and 90s have now become 할머니s, like my mom. They're somewhere between their late 50s and middle 60s, or much older than that. They still look like ajummas, but officially, they've become 할머니s. But don't call them 할머니 if you think they still look like 아줌마이sh. If she has no silver hair and no grandchildren with her, just call her 아주머니. If she looks as old as your mom, call her 어머니. If she obviously looks as old as your grandma, call her 할머니. Those are the respectful ways.